Hey, aloha everyone. Michelle Melendez with BlossomInnerWellness.com, StandTogetherHawaii.com, and this is also on the Voice of Kona Radio 100.5 FM here on the islands. So thank you so much to everybody who has been sharing that last video. Please like, share, and subscribe to this channel, because this video is going to show you how very, very quickly they are working on bringing fascism into the Hawaii Islands, starting with Maui. There is a bill, it's SB 3381, and I'm going to show it to you. We're going to go line by line, you guys, because I just went through this and it is astronomically very disturbing. Very disturbing, this bill. So let me just, so I'm going to stop share really quick. What we can do is it has passed two legislative bodies. It's going to the third committee, This is where it ends with your help. So basically it is Senator De La Cruz, and the phone number to call, and I'm just going to leave this right now. You guys can write this down, but I will give you what to say, because they're going to want to know why. Why do you want this bill to stop? And so let me share with you. It is what we want to say is we want to say, do not schedule Bill SB 3381. Do not schedule it into your hearing. And the phone number to call, and I'm going to say this again at the end of this video, is 808-586 6090, 808-586-6090. We also want to send an email to Senator De La Cruz, and I'm going to give that to you right now. SEN, so for Senator, SEN as in Nancy, DELA, his last name, DELACRUZ, De La Cruz, at capital CAPITOL .Hawaii, full written out .gov. We want to say, do not schedule SB 3381 into your next hearing. And let me show you why. Let me show you why. This is fascism at its very finest, beyond finest. So I have gone through line by line, and I'll explain it to you guys. This is the bill, again, SB 3381. And this is, we're going to start at, this says, the Lele Community District, right? And the purpose for this community is that they're very tricky. Accordingly, the purpose of this part is to establish the Lele Community District to facilitate the rebuilding of Lahaina. But I want to show you guys the map of the Lele District, because I showed it to you yesterday. I'm going to show it to you again. So I'm going to show you guys the map here. This is from Civil Beat, Honolulu. Thank God they did this, because somebody sent this to me. I think her name is Michelle. Beyond Lahaina, some lawmakers want a new development plan for all of West Maui. So here's Lahaina, everybody, right here. This is what this Lele community will be in charge of, okay? And this bill is, like I said, fascism at its best. We're talking dictatorship. We're talking removal of freedoms, especially if you're a landowner. So I'm going to go to number one, funds. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to go through all of the main things that I feel are really disturbing about this bill. So funds means the Lele Community District special funds. I'm going to show you what these special funds are. These people, they can, this is unbelievable, but I'm going to try to do my best to stop with the extra comments here. The district shall be comprised of, oh, this was a question for you guys. Lahaina, it's 29 Apua'a, and the Apua'a is a special community from the mountain all the way to the ocean. And but anyway, is that map all of Lahaina? Are those the 29 districts? I just had that was a personal question for those of you who know what that means. Here we go. State lands within the district. After planning for the district is completed, the board shall determine what state-owned lands, if any, except lands under the jurisdiction of the Hawaii Department. So basically, let me just finish. That shall be transferred to either the board or the Hawaii Community Development Authority. So they're going to be in charge of all the state-owned lands, and whatever they say goes. I mean, is that right? This is state-owned land. So shouldn't the people be in charge of saying what happens with that? I don't know. Maybe that's a no. Maybe that's just the way it goes. That doesn't really concern me as much as these other things. Page 3, line 11. The district shall be governed by the board. The board shall carry out the duties and responsibilities set forth in this part. And I wanted to do line 11. So let's see here. The 9 members shall be elected. Okay, that's all fine and dandy. There was, okay, 4, number 6. Here we go. Board of Hawaii Community Development Authority relationship. The board shall have sole jurisdiction over the district. I showed you guys this map. So let me just put myself over here. And this is the whole map right here. The entire west coast of Maui up here near Lahaina. And the board shall have sole jurisdiction over the district. The authority shall not have jurisdiction over the district except to the extent that the board is administratively placed under the authority as set forth in this section. So just so you know, this board is going to have exclusive authority over that entire map that I just showed you. Page number 5. And this is going to be line 4, community plan. This is, I said this in the last video, but this is really important. The board shall create and implement it expeditiously as possible. That means fast, you guys. A community plan for the rebuilding within the district in coordination with all stakeholders. Super important word right there. Who are these people? Who are these people? I'm going to show you in a second. They're in another area, including the county of Maui. Okay, well, that's fine. But the residents is a third. Landowners is 4th. Charitable organizations and businesses. So let's look at where else have we seen stakeholders. This is the U.S. Collaborative Smart Grid Demonstration Project in Maui Island of Hawaii. This was during the period of 2011 and 2006. There has been a smart community project, Jump Smart Maui, held in the island of Maui, Hawaii. And this is a smart community, was constructed by Hawaiian and Japanese stakeholders, headed by the New Energy and Industrial Technology Development Organization of Japan. So these are not elected people, and yet they are deciding the fate of what happens to Maui, and our government officials are steamrolling ahead with this. So what does it say again? The board shall create and implement as expeditiously as possible a community plan for the rebuilding within the district in coordination with all stakeholders. Number 1, that's the very first part of that. Everybody should be concerned about that. And this is page 5, number 14, Lele Community District Guidance Policy. The following guidance policy shall generally govern the board's actions. The board's actions shall result in the community reflects the values and aspirations and goals of residents. Okay, this is really vague. They do vagueness because they can put anything in, right? They can just put stuff in, including a significant number of affordable housing. Well, that sounds good, right? Encourages a thriving, sustainable business sector that includes tourism and restores community assets, including schools. Okay, this all sounds great. However, sustainable business sector, sustainable, that means there's going to be a lot of rules and regulations in that area. And who's going to decide that? This board, not the regular people. So that's something to be concerned with. And this is the next part, the provision of new housing replacement. Approximately 3,000 units destroyed in the wildfire shall be a priority. Okay, that's great. Let's see, number 8. Then, okay, and then we're going to Oh, the design of all neighborhoods shall include alternative means of mobility, including pathways, bikes, public transportation, and other strategies that reduce the dependency on private vehicles. So this is the smart city. This is what they're implementing, you guys. So they can have full authority over this. This means what are they going to do to people who aren't using this alternative means of mobility? Are there going to be rules and regulations for that? Because this is what they're putting in. I don't know, maybe not, but this is something to look at. This is really here very interesting. The threat of sea level rising and other climate change impacts shall be addressed through appropriate mitigation strategies, including shoreline setbacks and underground utility placement. You guys, I have said over and over again, in fact, let me show you another video of, this is going to be, I'm going to show you a quick short video of John Coleman, who, let me just let him tell you who he is, because this is amazing, founder of the Weather Channel. But here we go. Sorry, I need to add the volume so you can hear what he has to say on this in this video, because they're saying it's climate change. They're going to do climate change, you know, for our shorelines.
Well, I'm the weatherman on KUSI TV in San Diego, California. Most of you know that, but some of you who have followed a link to here or found me on YouTube don't know anything about me. I was the original weatherman on Good Morning America. That was back in the 1970s. I was the founder of the Weather Channel, the cable TV network. That was in the 1980s. And I've been interviewed on all the big shows all over the cable networks about global warming. I'm a scientist, a meteorologist who has spent over 60 years forecasting the weather every day. And I guess this represents my proudest moment in my career. In 1982, the American Meteorological Society, of which I was a professional member for many years, awarded me their certificate as the Broadcast Meteorologist of the Year.
So that was
later on. I got kind of disgusted.
So I'm gonna move
political
forward.
Agenda.
Oops.
Not killing the polar bears. There are actually more polar bears living on planet Earth today than at any time since we've been counting them.
Here we go.
And they also tell us, of course, that we're melting the polar ice caps. Oh, yeah? The Antarctic polar ice cap is at an all-time high. And the Arctic ice cap is increasing again after diminishing. They tell us, of course, that we're flooding the shorelines. Excuse me, do you live on the coast? How much does the water come up in your lifetime? They manufacture data to make it look like we're increasing the water level of the oceans, but we're not. And despite all their claims, the truth is we're not experiencing any incredibly bad weather. Now, let me ask a question.
So let me pause. I'm going to stop that. I want to go to this one as well, because this is standtogetherhawaii.com. If you are not a part of Stand Together Hawaii, please go here, join us. You will get emails from me, but this is the other one I wanted to share because this was really, really important. They're always about climate change, and that's everything is about this. Well, this is, I know I've shared this before, but this is really important. World Climate Declaration. I'm not going to read, you guys can read what that says. I'm not saying it out loud because of the algorithms here. 1,609 signatories from scientists around the world have signed this, and they're saying this right here. They're saying there is no, and then after that, the climate emergency, and signed by 1,609 scientists from around the world. And they say to believe the outcome of a climate model is to believe what the model makers have put in. This is precisely the problem of today's climate discussion, in which climate models are central. Climate science has degenerated into a discussion based on beliefs, not on sound, self-critical science. Should not we free ourselves from the naive belief in immature climate models? So this is part of this bill, SB 3381, the threat of sea level rising. Is Kona underwater? Is Hilo underwater? Is any part of the Hawaii Islands, has the shoreline risen at all? And the other thing I want to share about that is, do insurance companies still give insurance for coastline homes? When people buy a home and they get flood insurance, are insurance companies allowing them to have that? Because if they knew that that the sea levels were going to rise and destroy that house in the next 10 years, insurance companies would not be insuring homes at all on the coastline. So this is by design, everybody. It is by design that they are showing, that they are telling us this. Let me go back to this bill and go to the next part. I think I've definitely showed you my opinion on that one. This is page 7. Building in residential areas shall cater to the needs of residents, especially those who lost their homes in the fire, for long-term house in terms of location, type of housing, and cost. Okay, that's good, but you know, that sounds good. shall be so wait a minute, hold on. So it's page 7. Okay, a building a residential area shall cater to the needs of residents. Okay, this wording is really suspicious. Shall cater to the needs. How about it says building in residential areas shall be this in the sole discretion of the homeowner without government interference? How about we say that? How about we say that we change building in residential areas shall cater to the needs of residents, and we change that and we put it say shall be in the sole discretion of the homeowner. These words are very, very, very suspicious. So the next part is page 8. And this is number 16 down here. Acquire. Okay, let me read what this is. This is the board's powers. This Lele District Board's powers. They will, and it says the board may acquire, require, or contract to acquire or require by grant or purchase real, personal, or mixed property of any interest therein, and own, hold, clear, improve, rehabilitate, sell, assign, exchange, transfer, convey, lease, or otherwise dispose of, or encumber the same. What are they talking about here? Are they talking about people's private property? The board powers may acquire, require. What was the first thing out of Governor Green's mouth after the fires? He said, I'm looking for ways for the state to acquire the land. That's the first thing he said. Number 4 of this board's power says they may acquire, require, or contract to acquire or require real, personal, or mixed property. What does this say? Are they going to be acquiring the land? Let's see what this next part says. And this is number 5 of the board's power. The board may acquire, there's the word again, acquire again, or require by condemnation, real or personal or mixed property of any interest therein for purposes of this part. By condemnation, they can acquire by condemnation, real, personal, or mixed property. So I'm sorry about the mower here. I hope you guys can hear me okay. But yes, I'm going to pause the recording until he stops. Here we go. Pause. Okay, so the next part is page 9, number 1. Next part is page 10. And this is number 13. Okay, so what does this say up here? The powers again may enter into a memorandum or agreement with governmental agencies, private parties, as necessary to carry out this part. So, I mean, this government, hold on one second. Oh, resume share. Sorry, you guys, hold on. Okay, just press recording again. So this one, enter into a memorandum agreement with the governmental agencies, private parties as necessary to carry out this part. What is this? A memorandum agreement? What agreement? What are they going to agree to? This is like, check out this one. You think that one's crazy? Check this one out. This is super great. Contract for and accept gifts or grants in any form from any public agency or from any other source. This board, Lele District, Lele Community Board here, will be able to have anybody from any source, anywhere, give them money, give them gifts. Like, are you freaking kidding me? This is so I don't even have words. I have no words besides demonic and evil and fascism, fascist, absolutely dictatorship, BS. Let's go to the next part, 11, before I get on a rant. Assessment of operating costs, okay? The board, oh, this is a great one. The board shall have power to assess all land users except the federal government. How convenient. So federal government doesn't include. And you guys, don't laugh at me, but I had to look up the word land users because I wanted to make sure I knew who they're talking about. Those whose sources of livelihoods are developed from their work in the agriculture and forest lands. Commercial farmers or rural farmers are land users. Okay, if you own a farm, you are a land user. So let me read this again. The board shall have power to assess all land users except the federal government, because they're excluded, for their fair share of the costs required to administer and operate the district, which may include costs associated with staffing. Okay, what does that say? You guys are going to be paying for this, except you're going to love when I show you at the end of this how much money is going to go into their special funds account. But somehow their fair share, land users' fair share of the costs required to administer and operate the district, which may include costs associated with staffing. Assessments shall be based on each land user's proportionate share of the total acreage of the district of the land used versus the total acreage of the district. Okay, no land user assessment as provided in this part shall constitute a tax or real property within the means of any constitutional or statutory provision. So also this gets a little bit scary, because this is number 19. This is here. You guys are going to love this one. If you're a land user, guess what? The board may charge interest or other fees on assessment amounts not paid on a timely basis, and may withhold services or approval of government permits for land users delinquent in payments. Yeah, this board is gonna have a lot of power. For the purposes of this section, land user includes the landowner, provided that the landowner may assign the responsibility for payment or of assessments to the leasee or license of land. Okay, this is page 12, and we have number 7. Rent control. So they're going to be in charge of rent control. That's not too bad, but it's interesting because that also violates the Constitution. I mean, that is a good idea, rent control, but it does violate the Constitution by them, because they're overreach. It's overreach of government. That's what it comes down to. Financial aid for this is a great one. Financial aid from the federal government contracts with the federal government. The board may secure financial aid from the federal government for any planning, design, building, construction, and maintenance work that the board is authorized to undertake pursuant to this part. The board may borrow money and accept grants from federal government in aid or from any construction project the board is authorized to undertake pursuant to this part. Issues bonds. I mean, this is a lot. So check this one out. This is page 13, number 12. Comply with the terms and conditions required by the federal government in any contract or grant for federal assistance. So comply with the terms, conditions required by the federal government. They're not saying what that is. What is that? What are the terms? What are the conditions? What does that mean for the people? They're not sharing what this is. Very, very concerning here. And it just gets better. It just gets better. It is the purpose and intent of this section to authorize the board to do all things necessary to secure the cooperation and financial aid from the federal government for any planning, design, building, construction, and maintenance work that the board is authorized to undertake pursuant to this part. So do all things necessary to secure the cooperation of and financial aid from the federal government. This should be freaking people out, because what does all things necessary mean? And what they're going to give Hawaii away to the federal government? I mean, I don't know. It says all things necessary. It could be anything. Okay, you guys. So you want to find out about the special funding? The Lely Community Special Fund. There's an establishment in the Treasury, State Treasury, the Lely Community Special Fund, into which shall be deposited. And let me get these numbers here. Number 1 and number 7. Monies directed, allocated, or dispersed to the district from government agencies or private individuals or organizations, including grants, gifts, awards, donations, and assessments of landowners for costs to administer and operate the district. Isn't that great? They get to have money from private individuals, organizations, and I almost want to throw up. But anyway, page 14, number 16 down here, for any other purposes of this part. So for anything, they can get special funding from anybody, anywhere. And I'm just like, this is okay. Next part. I'm going to just keep going. I'm just going to breathe. Number 15.6. The board has the power to adopt rules pursuant to Chapter 91. I don't know what that is, but relating to health and safety, because we know the government loves our health and safety, building, planning, zoning, and land use, which upon final adoption of the community plan shall supersede all other inconsistent ordinances and rules relating to the use of zoning, planning, and development of land and construction thereon, provided the rules adopted pursuant to this subjection shall follow existing laws, rules, and ordinances as closely as is consistent with standards meeting minimum requirements of good design, pleasant amenities. Here we go again, you guys. Health, safety, and coordinated development. So basically, what does that mean? What does that mean? You remember the mandates were for our health and safety, and they're going to be adopting rules pursuant to our health and safety. That is, again, no words here. This is number 16. Page 16. Okay, so I didn't do page 16. 17. We're going to go down to page 18. I have my notes right here, you guys. Page 18. This is about the election. That part's about the election. I'm going to leave the link to this. I'm going to leave the link to this if you guys want to read the whole thing. But here we go. Number 17 on page 18. Hawaii revised statutes. The legislature has determined that the appropriations contained in the act will cause the state general fund expenditure ceiling for fiscal year 2024-2025 to be exceeded by, it's blank. If you're listening on the radio, it's blank. So they don't know how much, they don't have a projection, but they're going to pass this with parts of this being blank. So they're going to put that in later. I don't know, they can just put in millions of dollars here, put it in later. 19, number 3. This is page 19, number section 3, this line 3. There is appropriated out of the general revenues of the state of Hawaii the sum of $1,500,000 or so much thereof as may be necessary for fiscal year 2024-2025 for the establishment of 9 full-time equivalent positions within the Hawaii Community Development Authority. So they are, okay, $1,500,000 is going to be allocated for these full-time positions. Very, very interesting. And this is page 19. And this is line 11. Here we go again. General revenues of the state of Hawaii, the sum of $6 million. Again, this is for the Hawaii Community Development Authority to engage residents of the Lely Community District and conduct pre-development planning and design within that district. So $6 million to engage residents of the Lely Community District and conduct pre-development planning and design. How amazing is that? Here we go. We want some more money? Here we go. Here, let's give them some more money. There is appropriation. This is the best one. There's appropriated out of the general revenues of the state of Hawaii the sum of $100 million or so much thereof as may be necessary for the fiscal 2024-2025 to be deposited into the Lely Community Special Funds. This gets better. provided that no funds shall be made available under this section unless the Lely Community District Board obtains $100 million in matching funds from the private sector for the purpose for which this sum is appropriated. Well, they're going to be rolling in the dough, it looks like. And this is again page 20, and we're going to go down to 21. Oh, this is even gets better. There is appropriated out of the Lely Community Special Fund the sum of $200 million. $200 million for the purpose of the Lely Community District, provided that the funds are available pursuant to Section 8 of this Act. And I'm not going to go read that, but that is there. And then this is the last page here. This act shall take effect. This is really weird. Oh, Section 13. This act shall take effect on 2060, but sections 2 and 3 are going to be January 2024 and January 2020. I'm sorry, January 2025, and then the section 3 is November 2026. So that's just the dates. That's this bill. That's this bill. I want to show you guys. Is it this part? Yes. Okay. Who loves Rosa Corey? She has died. She's no longer with us. She's died of cancer, but she went throughout the state. She went to community council county council and city councils, showing them we need to be concerned. Who is Rosa Corey? She is was the branch chief officer for California Transportation for over 30 years. She's a commercial real estate appraiser specializing in eminent domain value. And here's what she has to say that we all should be very concerned about. She's speaking right now. It's recorded. She's speaking at a city council member meeting.
But in doing the research, I found that this really wasn't something that was a conspiracy theory. It's not a conspiracy theory. It's a conspiracy fact. And this information is fully documented. Everything that I'm going to be talking about today is a fact. And if I'm speculating or I'm giving my opinion on something, I'll tell you. Otherwise, everything I'm talking about is fully documented. So I know that as Americans, you're going to find yourselves deeply at odds with and completely concerned by the agenda for the 21st century. And that is what it's called by the United Nations and the world.
And it's called, I believe it's Agenda 2030 or Agenda, it's something like that. They've raised the number because they're going to keep going unless we stop this.
It's not Catch 22. It's not Area 51. It's Agenda 21 because it is the agenda for the 21st century. That is what it's called by the United Nations. It's a blueprint. It is the action plan to inventory and control all land, all water, all minerals, all plants, all animals, all construction, all information, all energy, all means of production, and all human beings in the world. It is a totally comprehensive plan. Yes, it's we'll just do what we can with the fabulous technology of our 21st century here. It is a transition from representative government. Now this is serious. It's a transition from representative government to government by unelected boards and commissions. It is truly an erection of a shadow government, of another layer of government, of a parallel government. This is what it is. It is an erasure of jurisdictional boundaries. It is a loss of private property rights, a loss of sovereignty, both personal, physical sovereignty, and physical sovereignty in terms of our nation. And it's a loss of our freedom. So of course we're going to be...
So let me just check, and I'm going to stop share for a moment, and I'm going to make sure that that's all I wanted to share, and then I'm going to tell you what the action is that we're taking. Oh, I do want to share this. Well, I already showed you guys the map that they are for the West from West Maui. I mean, so this is the West Maui transportation oriental corridor. Okay, this was proposed before the fires. This is Lahaina over here. This is Lahaina, and it goes all the way from Whalers Village all the way down to the Lahaina reorientation circle. I'm not sure if that's the correct thing, but this is the property, and this is the map. This is the map, all the way from up here, all the way down here. This is the map of this district, that will have power over this entire area. And she said that that they are appointed. The governor is going to appoint this board first. Then it goes to the election. Who here trusts the Hawaii election? This is like unbelievable. So here's our power. Here's our power. We're going to contact the Senator De La Cruz. He is the one that chairs the next meeting that will have this, and this is the last meeting. His number is 808-586-6090. 808-586-6090. 6090. Call him up and email him, because we want this on record. So we want to call him up and tell him, and I'm going to leave a list in the description. I'm going to actually leave a link to a Google Doc that you can copy and paste. I'm going to go line by line of why this is so disturbing. All you have to do is copy that, change it any way you want, add who you are, why you're concerned, email it to him, call them, tell them. Can you imagine if they get hundreds of thousands of people calling and saying, do not put this on the agenda. Do not put this on the agenda and schedule it, because this is absolutely a fascist bill that takes away freedoms, and goes against the Constitution. And if you put this on the agenda, you will be perjuring your oath to defend and support the Constitution. That's our power, you guys. That's our kuleana, especially if you live on Maui. If you live on Maui, you have the biggest standing, and I hope you're watching this. So again, please like, share, and subscribe, because my subscription subscribers are going down, not up. I am being shadow banned. So mahalo for sharing this. This sponsor always is aceofcoins.com. And he helps with taxes, he helps with accounting, he helps with licensing your biometric data, he helps with tax-free cryptocurrency, aceofcoins.com to support. And if you want to support me in another way, check out the description. I do private fitness classes, as well as public live classes that if you want to get in shape with me. We do a live class every Tuesday morning at 7 a.m. Hawaii time, which is 9 a.m. California time right now. And you can check the link below. So we're going to pray. We're going to pray. We're going to pray. And we also have to remember, this is a game we decided to come and play. Praying and playing. This is a game we decided to come and play right now. Nothing really happens. And I think, I have a friend of mine who we both believe this whole thing is a simulation, the whole world. Like, I think it's a simulation. I don't think this is what we think it is. We see 5% of the electromagnetic spectrum of the 5%, which is nothing. We don't see gamma waves. We don't see the frequency field that we walk through. This is a field. This around me empty space is not empty. It's a frequency field that has been measured. But anyway, regardless of that, I do think our playing of this game is to do what we're inspired to do, and to trust in a higher power, because there is a higher power that is protecting us. There's a higher power beating my heart, breathing my body, beating your heart, breathing your body. Something is functioning your body, making your body function. We don't know what that is. Something's growing the plants. Something's running the tides and moving the sun. And that infinite intelligence, we've all said many times, it's love. I feel it's a higher frequency. And I think that's why not only are we really not in any harm's way when we die, there's no death. Just this thing dies, this vessel. But our frequency doesn't die of who we are, what we are, the spirit of ourselves. It moves on. And I don't know. I'd like to believe that it goes back, returns to love. And this is a game that our spirit came to play for a spiritual expansion of courage. Because when you are afraid and you walk through and you do what is right, no matter what, how hard it was or how afraid you were, and you do it anyway, that grows your spirit. You grow. You become stronger. And every single time during the past 3 years of not wearing one of these, of walking into stores, of having the police called on me, of writing to the governor, of all the things that I've done, every single time it's made me stronger. So we're going to do this together. We're going to call Senator De La Cruz, 808-586-6090. We're going to email him, SEN, De La Cruz, DELACRUZ. I'll say it again, SEN as in Nancy for Senator, SEN, DELACRUZ at capital with an O, CAPITOL .Hawaii, spell it out, .gov, G-O-V. That is his email. It's also in the description. Copy and paste what I've written, change it any way you want, send it to him, and make a phone call. I've had people all over the mainland write to me and say they've sent the governor his affidavit. Thank you. Much, much mahalo. I've had people around the world, New Zealand, Finland, Germany. And so I just want to say so much mahalo. You have the aloha spirit. You're standing up for what is right. And it's going to come back to you. It's going to come back to you. Okay. Prayer time. Great Spirit, infinite intelligence of all things. Wow, this is right in our faces. Mahalo, mahalo for the lady who sent this bill to me. Thank you so much for the civil beat in Honolulu that reported on it. And we've got this, Great Spirit. We've got this because of you, because we are courageous. We know that we are being, each of us being guided by this, by you, Great Spirit, this higher power that's filled with love and intention of joy, of goodness, of unity, of sovereignty, of freedom. We just know, Great Spirit, and we just trust that. We do what is ours to do. We do our kuleana, we do our part, and we leave the rest to you. We let go of fear. There's no need to be afraid because, Great Spirit, you're the one who created us. We're going to return back to you. And you're the one that's really running the show. And these lower frequency, what looks like evil beings, which is really just lower frequency, they're not in power. They're not in control. You are, Great Spirit. And we get to watch as freedom and peace come back to these beautiful Hawaii Islands, as justice, as truth is right on Lahaina, right on Maui, lighting it up. And we know that each one of the people in Maui and each one of the Lahaina residents, you are with them and you are inspiring them and you are sending them everything they need and more. We just know that is happening, Lord. And Great Spirit, infinite intelligence of all things, we know that is happening for all people around the world who have had their property destroyed, have had their lives under attack by these entities that think that they rule over us. But that's just really not, that's not the case. And Great Spirit, we are so grateful for all of the people and entities that are supporting truth right now, that are standing for what is right, that are holding freedom and peace, sovereignty for all people around the world. We are so grateful for that, Great Spirit, because that's happening every moment of every day. And more people are doing what is right, not what is easy, but what is right. And Great Spirit, we just know that we just ask that, actually we know that each person who's standing up for freedom is filled with abundance and love and peace and harmony in their lives. And it accumulates as we do this together, as we stand up together, unified as one human race with one heartbeat of humanity that is beating and pulsating a frequency of love, unification, freedom, peace, harmony for all people around the world. We know it is done, Great Spirit. We know it is done. And so it is. Okay, you guys, that's our homework right now. That's our kuleana. Let's call this guy up. Senator De La Cruz, 808-586-6090. Give him a call. Say, do not put on the agenda Bill SB 3381. SB 3381 must not go on the agenda. Check out the description in the link. This is a YouTube channel, Blossom Inner Wellness, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Much mahalo.